So we arranged ourselves into something sort of a task force, and we decided amongst ourselves, young boys, that we would set up watch parties around him, and we'll be looking out for any day we'll find out where he kept my clothes. That went on for weeks. But when things have become ego wars, people sacrifice to make sure that we won the war. So people were loaning me clothes, and I was, even though uncomfortable, quite comfortable. My friends kept me comfortable. Anyhow, one day, while huddling together somewhere, we got the news from one of the junior students that I've seen where he kept your clothes. He told us that this senior student opened his trunk box. Those of you who schooled in the 70s and 80s will know what a trunk box is. Big, strong metal box that could necessarily be called like a vault. Anyhow, that he saw that senior student open that box and he saw some clothes there. There was a particular cloth I had. My mom had bought that cloth for me. It was light brown. And on the left chest part of that cloth was written the word sheriff. It was nice. It looked nice. So once or twice that I had worn it, a few of my friends admired it. You could not mistake that cloth anytime you saw it. So in walking around, that particular friend of mine had seen that cloth in that box, which meant conclusively to him that all the clothes were inside this senior student's trunk box, which he securely locked and kept tucked deep under his bunk. Rarely went there, so there was no way anybody could get to know that the clothes were there nor have access to them. So since we had therefore confirmed that the clothes were, the next thing was, how do we get those clothes? So he had this bunch of keys where, of course, the key to the padlock of the trunk box was, and it was difficult to separate him from his bunch of keys. It was always with the bunch of keys, and we told ourselves the next mission is we must find a day where, for whatever reason on earth, he would drop his bunch of keys, and we had to act extremely fast to ensure that our rescue mission of Dallas clothes were successful. Lo and behold, one day, he had gone to play football, came back in, and wanted to have a quick shower so that I could go for prep. And in that instant, he dropped his key on the bed and decided to go into the bathroom for a shower. A junior student saw him, ran out and informed us, and we formed a chain reaction so fast. Jumped in through the window, picked the key, started moving out the clothes, shared it amongst ourselves, locked it back, put his key back, and jumped out the window, and it was a clean operation. We took all the clothes and returned his key to the same spot. Now, because he does not go to the trunk box regularly, he didn't realize anything was amiss. And because I was wearing clothes, school uniforms and stuff, he didn't also realize I had taken my clothes. Until one day, I wore that sheriff shirt. When he saw me on that shirt, he paused, looked at me and said, Ogunsby, come here. I went to him. He looked at me and realized he couldn't ask me where I got that shirt from because it's my shirt. And then suddenly he said, I'm coming. And rushed into his room, moved under his bed. I was watching him pull out the trunk box. He opened it, and lo and behold, all my clothes had been rescued. They were gone. He came out looking angry and came towards me and said, Ogunsby, you really think you are smart? So I said, my child, I don't understand what you're talking about. And he said, no problem. Well done, Ogunsby. Well done. But be careful. There's something we say in GCI, Moonreke, meaning I'm looking out for you. If you dare make any mistake in this school, I will make you suffer. Anyhow, that was how we were able to get my clothes rescued. The lesson I learned from this is, as junior students, we didn't conclude that we were too small or too powerless. We didn't think our ego had no value, or that the fact that my right had been breached meant that it just had to be that way. We took it upon ourselves to seek redress. People who are the electorate, the general populace, you look at rich people, strong people, and think that they're powerless. There's really nothing we can do. They can just do things and get away with it. That's not true. When we decide to act in unison and we fortify ourselves in unity and take decisive steps, we can make them change some things. When we talk of big men giving out bribe on election day, they are never the ones who hand out the bribes. It is one of us that they will use. When they steal money, they are never the ones who go all through that chain of value of corruption. They use us to achieve it. When they rape women, when they do horrible things, they use us. They use those of us who are not on their level to achieve these evil acts. When we truly decide that we want changes, we should be ready. It doesn't have to be all of us, but some of us in different areas who believe that these changes are so important to us. Let's be prepared to work together, share information together, share skills together to find a way to break the chain that they'll be using to create this resultant and consistent evil. And we begin to notice little changes in our environment. So many of the things that belong to us have been tracked by these people. They've been taken off the rack. They've been kidnapped or close-napped, as it may be. But if we decide to work together and make the most efforts amongst us, so with the little that we think we have, we can actually begin to see changes. Let's snoop on them. Let's sneak on them. Let's find out what to unravel, what to loosen, so that this so-called strength that they have, that they use against us, can be weakened in line with the law of the land. So, we actually may not be as weak as we think we are. If my classmates could help me to rescue my right from that senior student who had oppressed me, maybe we as a people can also rescue so many other rights that have been trampled upon if we choose to work together without allowing party lines, religion, ethnicity to divide us when we have something in focus that we want to achieve. Let's stop thinking only of our weaknesses. Let's appreciate the strength that we have, especially when we unite to achieve a common